Patriots have traded wide receiver N'Keal Harry to the Chicago Bears.
Oh, it's a good value. I mean, you draft the guy with the first round pick, you trade him a few years later for a seventh.
I thought they were going to have to lose him for nothing. But, you know, I'm not.
That is nothing, FYI.
See you later. Thanks.
Bye. See you later. You suck.
The way out.
See you later.
Never liked the pick.
I don't want to go out on a limb and say that this is a huge trade that's going to completely shake everything up for the New England Patriots, but it is more or less a situation that could turn out to be very beneficial for the team that is trading with the New England Patriots. So before we get to the content, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. If you think I talk way too much in these videos, well, we shorten these videos into 1-minute shorts that we upload onto my TikTok at Mikerophone NFL and onto my Instagram at The Flight Mike. Now that we get all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? N'Keal Harry has been in one of the most interesting situations that any wide receiver could be in. He was selected with the last pick in the 2019 NFL Draft by the New England Patriots, who famously haven't necessarily always hit on their wide receivers whenever they drafted them. And originally, there was a lot of hope for him because coming out of college, he ran a 4.5 40-yard dash. He had nearly a 40-inch vertical, but the thing is, his career didn't go as planned with the New England Patriots. After back-to-back seasons with 1,000 plus receiving yards and 8 plus touchdowns at Arizona State University, New England Patriots saw enough from N'Keal Harry to draft the 6'4", 225-pound physical wideout with the final selection of the 2019 NFL Draft. Since his selection, however, Harry in 3 seasons has recorded less than 600 receiving yards and has caught just 3 more touchdowns than the amount of times he's changed his number. N'Keal Harry has obviously been a disappointment for a first-round pick, and after the 2020 season requested a trade. But after summer came and went, with N'Keal Harry still on the roster, he suited up for the Patriots in 2021. After another lackluster year, once again, N'Keal Harry has requested a trade. It seems like at this point, the New England Patriots just didn't have a choice but to trade the guy. And ultimately, that's what ended up happening, and the return that the Patriots are getting is just very disappointing if you're a Patriots fan. So, according to Ian Rappaport, Mike Garofolo, and Field Yates, the New England Patriots have traded wide receiver N'Keal Harry to the Chicago Bears. Sources tell him and Rap Sheet, former first-round pick, gets a shot at a fresh start. Now, you might be memeing this and saying, oh my god, this is league-breaking, but to be honest, this is pretty intelligent, especially when you see what goes back to the New England Patriots, because this 2019 first-round draft pick is going to the Chicago Bears for a 7th round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, which is very, yikes. I don't want to be that guy because obviously hindsight is 2020, but the 2019 NFL Draft is notorious for their wide receiver class. I mean, in this class alone, you had Deebo Samuel going 4 picks later to the San Francisco 49ers. You had AJ Brown going 20-something picks later to the Tennessee Titans. You had McCole Hardman getting drafted in the 2nd round as well. And then you had DK Metcalf being drafted at the tail end of the 2nd round. And of course, Deontay Johnson that was drafted 2 picks later. Now, again, hindsight's 2020, but it's just really funny to me that the Patriots selected N'Keal Harry and then practically every wide receiver selected after him, except for JJ Arcega-Whiteside, which was selected after McCole Hardman, had tremendous success. And for N'Keal Harry, instead of getting one of those stud players, you're just getting a 7th round pick. Now, the issue with N'Keal Harry originally with the New England Patriots is the man has all the physical tools in the world, don't get me wrong. He's nearly 6'5", he ran a 4.5 40-yard dash, he has oven mitts for hands. It could either be N'Keal Harry's work ethic or just not being able to click with the New England Patriots. And to be honest, he was used primarily as a glorified blocking wide receiver. In the modern NFL, size in wide receivers isn't just used to grab 50-50 balls, but it's used to help for running backs as well. And this can be seen in plenty of modern offenses like the Patriots, the 49ers, the Green Bay Packers, and the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams have been used using this to a T, primarily in the form of Robert Woods, and I'm assuming they're going to do the same thing with Allen Robinson this upcoming year. Harry has good size on the perimeter for blocking purposes, but he also could possess the receiving ability that he seemed to have had at Arizona State, but hasn't been able to show in New England. He's going into his final season of his rookie deal, and I don't know if the Bears are going to pick up his 5th-year option at this point, but if you are the Chicago Bears, this is an A-plus trade. I mean, you're giving up a 7th-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft for a former first-round pick. Now, in an offseason where I think the Chicago Bears had quite possibly the worst offseason that any team has had, and there is at least a direction, but on paper, if we're just speaking strictly from transactions that they have conducted so far, they just traded away a bunch of their best players or let a bunch of their best players walk away. They're going into year 2 of Justin Fields, and Justin Fields doesn't necessarily have a good shot at succeeding. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, they got a brand new head coach, they got a brand new general manager, ironically with the same first names as their ex-head coach and their ex-general manager, so maybe it ends up working out for them. But in an offseason where this team just made very little moves to at least give Justin Fields something to be excited about, something to at least be able to lean on this season when he is going under his first season with a brand new head coach in Matt Eberflus, at the very minimum, N'Keal Harry is something, okay? He is a former first-round pick. Is he damaged goods? Well, in this situation, obviously, if you're giving up a 7th-round pick for him, but a 7th-round pick for a former first-round pick that just needed a change of scenery, that has been demanding a trade literally in each and every single offseason up until this point, is an A+ to me. For the New England Patriots, man, like, I'm not going to hold this over their heads so much because, again, hindsight's 2020 when it comes to the NFL Draft. There's a world where Mac Jones is throwing bombs to DK Metcalf, or where Bill Belichick is using Deebo Samuel in a myriad of creative ways, or maybe is holding them back. Who knows? There's an alternate universe where the New England Patriots drafted AJ Brown with this pick. And ultimately, there is a decent amount of luck that goes into evaluating talent at the wide receiver position, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. I mean, in this particular case, since it didn't work out for them at all whatsoever, and the positions seem to be extremely deep after they've drafted their wide receiver, obviously I'm gonna have to give the New England Patriots an F. Well, I guess we could upgrade them to a D- because at the very minimum, at least they're setting N'Keal Harry free. The New England Patriots also have some other great options aside from N'Keal Harry. I mean, they just traded for Devontae Parker. Kendrick Bourne seemed to have had a great season last year. Maybe Nelson Aguilar has a good season this year. Maybe Jacoby Myers has a good season this year. But of course, speaking strictly from a transactional standpoint, I'm gonna have to give them a D- for this. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this. If you're a Chicago Bears fan, if you're a New England Patriots fan. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.